What does this mean for the Houston Rockets, who instead of getting pick 9 or a top 4 pick, which they had a chance to get, end up with pick 10, which was what they had a 24% chance to get. There was a 50% chance that they would get pick number 9. What are they going to do next? Because, okay, the Dallas Mavericks in your division have the number 1 overall pick and are expected to take Cooper Flagg and already have Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis on their team. And then the San Antonio Spurs, who have Victor Wembanyama, who's a freak. I remember there's that picture of him with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, who are both 7-footers. He's a foot taller than both of them. At least it looks that way. Maybe a half foot. Full head at least. You've got, after that, Stephon Castle, the reigning rookie of the year, falling into their lap last year. And now all of a sudden they have the number 2 pick, so they could take whoever they want after Cooper Flagg, or they could package that number 2 pick and trade it for someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know how many people saw the many clips of Brian Windhorst yesterday talking about the possibilities for Giannis Antetokounmpo in a potential trade. He had talked about how Houston and San Antonio are in Texas, how Giannis is very aware of the tax situation in Texas. I mean, the Spurs getting a piece of ammunition like this screams they're going to try and go get Giannis with it. Why not? And all of a sudden you have Victor Wembanyama and Giannis. And on top of that, you've got Stephon Castle. I mean, you've become the international team of everybody that doesn't live in the United States, right? Like if you're a European, you're a European Union guy, big EU guy. I mean, you're looking at this and you're like, yeah, representation. Look at this. We got France. We got Greece. Let's go. So, I mean, for the few people that are out there that are like that, yeah, that's a possibility. But if both those teams are about to acquire something, don't the Rockets have to do the same thing? Don't the Rockets have to do something now? I mean, this wasn't quite worst case scenario for the Rockets, but it's pretty damn close to. Because they end up with a pick worse than the one that they were projected to get. And the 2 in-state rivals just got the best 2 lottery tickets when it perhaps wasn't deserved. And okay, with the Spurs, maybe you can make the argument it was, but the Mavericks, it absolutely wasn't. So does that mean the Rockets have to make a move, even if that move doesn't exactly add up with the way that they're looking at themselves going into the future? There was a report from Kelly Eco about the Rockets and their possible pursuit of Kevin Durant on The Athletic. He wrote this, quote, while Durant is widely seen as the most attainable of the potential free agents this offseason, or not free agents, the potential trade targets of NBA teams this offseason, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Devin Booker, among others. Durant is widely seen as the most attainable of that group. He is known to be very interested in playing in Houston. Sources said the Rockets still have significant reservations about that possible partnership, in large part because Durant's age would be so out of sync with their younger timeline. It's worth noting that previous talks between the teams about Durant, per Rockets sources, were initiated by the Suns. I wonder if last night changed that, because that article came out earlier in the week. And I'm sure that the Rockets were probably looking at themselves in the mirror thinking there's no way that the Dallas Mavericks of all teams get the number 1 overall pick with the Spurs getting the number 2 pick. They must have thought that going into the lottery night. They must have thought there's no way that this completely goes against what we're looking for, right? So things have to change a little bit. If not for Rafael Stone, if not for Ime Udoka, it has to change in some way, shape, or form, I would imagine, for the Fertittas. If you're the Fertittas, you're definitely looking at the other teams in the state. And you got to think big picture. And you got to wonder if patience is going to pay off when these teams, without having to do patience, without having to show it without having to wait, all of a sudden have these things just drop into their lap. So the Rockets have to force something here. So that's going to be really interesting to see. What do the Fertittas see when they saw that both the Mavericks and the Spurs will be picking first and second overall? I would imagine that there will be a little bit of pressure for the Rockets to do something, because standing pat isn't necessarily going to get them any further. And pat might be the way. More from Kelly Iko in a season-ending article that he wrote with Sam Amick of The Athletic. Quote, the Rockets have previously held serious interest in the Suns' Devin Booker, but team sources said that is no longer the case. Not only do team officials still have faith in Jalen Green, who is 5 years younger than Devin Booker and $66 million cheaper over the next 3 seasons, but also Booker's struggles last season shifted the thinking on this front. As for Williamson, who has spent the majority of his 6 seasons falling short of expectations while experiencing health issues along the way, team sources said the Rockets see him as too risky. Let's talk about Zion Williamson, who was out there for the NBA draft lottery representing the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't think Zion or Devin Booker are going to happen, but I do think that Durant is more likely to happen after what happened last night. I think it has to be a little bit more than what happened last night, after what happened last night. So we'll see what they do. We've also saw this about Jalen Green, and this might be the Rockets posturing a little bit, but, you know, the part about not only do team officials still have faith in Jalen Green, that part is, I think, noteworthy, to still have faith in him after the playoff series that we just saw him struggle in. So, look, I'm not advocating for the Rockets to get aggressive to make a move because of what happened in the NBA draft lottery last night. But don't be surprised if there's more pressure now on both Rafael Stone and Ime Udoka to make something big happen this offseason now that both teams in state, the Mavericks and the Spurs, have more ammunition to significantly improve themselves this offseason.